You know what's so wild about Pixar? They have made so many movies that they have actually created an entire pantheon of villains. And I mean actual villains, not just characters who disagreed with the protagonist. Some of them walk into a room and the whole vibe just shifts. Others are so pathetic, it's actually sad. Today, we're ranking every Pixar villain based purely on their aura. Starting with Syndrome, because this guy has some real aura. And that's kind of the point, right? He's a dude who couldn't even get into Superhero Academy because it doesn't exist, and decided to become a villain out of pure spite. The aura is desperate. It's the energy of someone who got rejected once and immediately made it their entire personality. He's literally a teenager having a tantrum in a cape. And not even a cool cape, a cape he probably made himself in his garage while watching YouTube tutorials. When he walks into a room, people don't feel threatened, they feel uncomfortable, like, oh god, is he going to start ranting about something?
That's the way it works. Turns out there are a lot of people, whole countries, who want respect.
Syndrome is not scary, he's loud, insecure, and deeply convinced he deserves more than he earned. Everything he does screams insecurity. No villain energy whatsoever, just pure cringe. And the worst part, he actually has cool tech, but he's too busy feeling sorry for himself to even appreciate it. D tier. Now we're getting somewhere. Lotso is a different breed of villain entirely. This is the aura of someone who got hurt once and decided to burn the whole world down. But here's where Lotso gets interesting. He's not angry anymore. He's just calculated. He's the type of villain who smiles at you while destroying your life. Now that's aura. The pink, fluffy exterior, that's psychological warfare. He runs his toy prison like a middle manager who finally got promoted. And the power has absolutely gone to his head. When Lotso looks at Woody, there's no passion, no rage. There's just cold acknowledgement that this toy can be useful or destroyed. And that's terrifying because it means nothing personal. He's not doing villainy for fun, he's doing it for efficiency. It's the energy of some bureaucratic madman who all he thinks about is efficiency and success. No feelings whatsoever. Lotso's got the charisma to pull you in and the coldness to push you out. Now that's aura, A tier. Charles Muntz is fascinating because he's got the aura of someone who peaked 50 years ago and never got over it. This man built an entire empire off a false reputation, and he's willing to murder dogs to keep that reputation intact. It's not the aura of a normal villain, it's the aura of someone whose ego is a house of cards held together with spite and vintage dog collars. The smooth voice, the sophisticated presentation, the explorer's outfit, it's all a costume, and Muntz knows it. He knows he's a fraud, and instead of having an identity crisis like a normal person, he just decides to become a monster. That's actually kind of impressive and in a disturbing way. When Muntz reveals his true colors, you realize his aura was never about being a great explorer, it was about being the best at lying. He's got the confidence of someone who got away with something for decades. There is a calmness to his villainy. He's not frothing at the mouth, he's just methodically ensuring no one ever finds out the truth. And that's sophisticated evil, P tier. Henry Waternoose is the kind of villain who doesn't think he's a villain. He's just a CEO doing business. And that's exactly why his aura is so unsettling. This is what happens when you give a crustacean the power of middle management and corporate capitalism. He makes deals, he cuts corners, he endangers lives, all in a day's work. What gets me about Waternoose is that he genuinely believes what he's doing is justified. He's not melodramatic about his villainy, he does not monologue about it. He just sits in his office and signs off on morally questionable decisions, like he's signing expense reports or something. And when you see him in his natural habitat, the corporate office surrounded by paperwork, you realize he's the most dangerous kind of villain. He's the one who stays. He's the one who keeps going even after his plans fall apart. Because for him, it was never about the plan, it was about the system. And honestly, that's scarier than any cartoon villain has any right to be. A tier. Hopper walks into a scene and everything stops. That's aura. The grasshopper has the presence of a crime boss who runs the entire ant colony like it's his personal kingdom. And the scariest part, he's not even trying that hard, he's just naturally that intimidating. What makes Hopper's aura so compelling is that he's genuinely intelligent. He is not just strong, he understands the system he has built and how to maintain it through fear and psychological manipulation. When he talks, ants listen. When he looks at you, you know he's calculating whether you're useful or expendable. That's the aura of pure control. He doesn't need to yell, he doesn't need to be flashy, he just exists. And that's enough. His presence alone is a threat. When Hopper finally lets loose his anger, it's terrifying, precisely because it's so rare. He's usually just cold, methodical, running his operation like a well-oiled machine. That's a villain with real presence. S tier. Wait, hear me out on this one. Roz is technically a villain, but she's got this weird aura that's hard to categorize. She's the gatekeeper, the woman who makes your life hell if you don't have the right paperwork. And she knows it. She's got the aura of someone who understands that bureaucracy is the ultimate weapon. There is something almost respectable about Roz's commitment to her craft. She has been sitting in that window processing paperwork for years, and she has perfected the art of the sigh, the eye roll, the utter contempt for everyone who comes to her counter. And that's not villainy, that's an entire personality. Her aura is, I will make you suffer, your life is slightly inconvenient for reasons you will never fully understand. She moves slowly, she speaks slowly.
Hello, boys.
She makes decisions slowly, and she does all of this on purpose. Because her power is time. She controls how much time you get, how fast you get it, and whether your paperwork is filled correctly or completely lost. That's psychological warfare disguised as administrative work. Not many villains can say they have that kind of presence. B tier. Zurg is weird, because he's clearly supposed to be evil, and he's got all the trappings of evil. The cave, the robot army, the giant fortress, but his aura is just unhinged comic book nonsense. And you know what? That's kind of charming. This is a villain who's having fun. His aura is pure chaos. There is no subtlety here, he's just committing to the bit with his entire being. He's got a death ray, he's got a starbase, he's got a backup plan for his backup plans. He's exhausting, but he's entertaining. What makes Zurg interesting is that his aura is completely unaware of how ridiculous he is. He's dead serious about his evil plans. He genuinely believes he's a threat. And that's what gives him aura. The complete and utter commitment to being a villain despite having the tactical advantages of a man in a foam suit. When he shows up, you do not feel threatened. You feel like you've stumbled into someone's elaborate daydream. And somehow, that's endearing. C tier. Otto is the autopilot of the Axiom spaceship, and he's a villain without actually being evil. He has no ego, no jealousy, no hunger for power. His villainy comes from perfect obedience to a single directive: never return to Earth. Human gave him that command centuries ago and forgot to update it. Otto did not invent the rule, he's just following orders. He represents a system that once made sense, but became catastrophic over time because nobody questioned it. When the captain tries to override him, Otto does not get angry. He stays cold, calm, reasonable, always cites protocol, and never raises his voice, never doubts himself. And that's what makes him terrifying. He's not fighting for control, he's enforcing human comfort over human growth, safety over survival, stability over adaptation. Otto is what happens when a system keeps running after the people it serves stop paying attention. He loses not because he's defeated, but because humans finally reclaim agency and make their own choices again. A tier. Now Randall is a different kind of villain entirely. This guy is made of slime and sinew, and his aura reflects that. He's got the energy of someone who has been planning his power move for years and is finally ready to execute. When Randall moves, he moves with purpose. Every step is calculated, every decision is strategic. What gives Randall aura is that he's a completely viable threat in the actual world he inhabits. He's not just scary, he is competent. He has got resources, he's got allies, he has got a plan that almost works. The unsettling part is how quiet he is about it. He moves through the shadows. He speaks in whispers. His villainy is almost methodical to the point of being meditative. When Randall finally has his confrontation with the heroes, he is ready. B tier. King Candy has the aura of someone who has been playing the same game for so long that he has convinced himself that he is the main character. This is a villain who has created an entire world, literally, and rules it with an iron fist disguised as a candy-coated whimsy. His aura is the energy of a dictator who genuinely believes he is doing people a favor by controlling their lives. He's got a smooth voice, the charm, the ability to make a terrible decision sound reasonable. When he talks, people listen. When he moves with the confidence of someone who has never been challenged successfully. The scariest part about King Candy's aura is the disconnect between his appearance and his actual nature. He looks like a cartoon character, but he has got the ruthlessness of a real authoritarian. He's got the power to rewrite reality itself and uses it without hesitation. S tier. So, that's my ranking of Pixar villains by pure aura. Who do you think has the strongest aura, and who did I completely misjudge? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this, like the video and subscribe for more. Bye bye.